Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Sean, coming to you from my home studio here in Dallas, Texas. Today is March 20th, 2026. This is going to be episode number 58 from Cedar Light Sports, Detroit Red Wings, NHL update. Let's just jump right into it, folks. Last night, we had the Montreal Canadians heading into Little Caesars Arena last night. Uh, and a tough Eastern Conference matchup. We were head to head with these guys. Man, was this a great game? I hope you watched it, man. The NHL is just getting so great at this point of year, man. With things being so tight, these are like playoff games, and this game was like a playoff game. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into it, folks. It's kind of what we do around here. But anyway, man, these two teams were faced off, and they were, the first period they were just sort of feely, but man, you could just sense the atmosphere. How it had a playoff game atmosphere right from the get go. The teams there wasn't giving up a lot of space, and when people were making mistakes, they were recovering quickly, and then the net minders were making the saves when they had to. Yeah, no, man, this was just like, a lot of people they don't like these low scoring games, but this is what hockey is all about, man. As we get into heading into the playoffs and these stretches here, you're not going to have these, 8-7, 6-4. You're not going to have these kind of offensive games. They're all going to be close, 4-3, 3-2, 2-1 games. And this is kind of like what we had going on last night. But nonetheless, that's where that held on. It was Zippo in the first period last night. The teams just feeling each other out, and nobody wanted to open up and make mistakes. But nonetheless, after one, it was 0-0. Heading into the second period, teams started going back and forth. There was some feistiness going on. This game had everything of a playoffs. And it's just like, just count it like the playoffs have already started, but you're just not eliminated yet. Nobody's eliminated yet, but we're going to get to that point soon. But into the second period, man, same sort of play all the way down. Then heading into the closing minutes, a lame ass call on Mo Sider, sending him to the box. Um, Man, it was a soft call. I didn't like it. But anyway, the Canadians go on the power play where Slakowski got them on the board at the 17:45 mark. These are pesky Montreal team, man. They are tough. But anyway, that gave them the 1-0 lead there heading into the third period. This team doesn't give up a lot, man. But we're going to see what our boys are going to be made of heading into the third period. And how we respond, and we responded well. So, pretty early on, we had JT Comfort at the 2:14 mark get us on the board with, you put the puck on the net, man, on just a wrister from the far on out. He gets a deflection, bam, we're on the board. We got life. The Little Caesars crowd is getting into it, and we're ready to rock here. But man, it was tight play, back and forth, back and forth. You could sense the Wings. They had their push. They started getting momentum, and I think probably maybe since the 3/4 mark of the second period onward, the Detroit Red Wings were the better team, and then they showed they were the better team in the third period, and they carried the play for the most part of it. Not to cut Montreal off. They had looks, they had chances. They're a tough team, but we came out, we took care of business. But anyway, that's the way it was. Heading into the closing period, we're thinking, hey, let's get a point out of here, man. It's all tied up. But no, a major turnover and in the neutral zone. Oh man. Alex DeBrincat picks up this puck and he just comes in and wham bam, what a move, man. At the 16:35 mark, Alex DeBrincat gives the Red Wings a 2-1 lead there, man. In the closing minutes, can we hold on and get a regulation win here, folks? Because Montreal, here we are thinking we're going to give up a point for them, and in this tight race, and can we get a regulation win? And we held on, and we did, man. And then you had Copper. at the 1943 mark, get the empty netter to seal the deal, 3-1 there for Detroit. This was a hell of a victory at home and a hell of a response uh, from being pushed when your back is against the wall and your captain is out. It was great to see these playoff type atmospheres. It was cool to see our response when we're pushed and see how we could come out, and we did. And we had a great third period. And then the leadership from these guys, man, it's go time, and we have showtime. And DeBrink at the last couple games, man, these guys have been stepping it up. I don't know how many points DeBrink has got. I mean, I think this was like his third 3-point game, maybe in a row. But and then Kaner is stepping it up too. And then the other one is Perron. I know a lot of people they were harping on him for his offense when he was here, but it's exactly why you have those kind of guys there. They might not chip in all the time on the score sheet, but they're not going to fizzle around the wall. I mean, that guy is he's tough along the boards. He's a great leader, and man, it was great to see him step in right away, man. I wasn't expecting that, but man, what a great to have Perron back in the lineup with those three guys. And then this bodes well for us with we have a couple two-day offs heading into next week, which is going to be good for getting Larks, who skated yesterday. So maybe he can get healed up and get us back in here and closing out maybe the last few games of the month, or at least the last games of April. But anyway, let's just move right along here and jumping into the scores. It was a pretty action-packed last night in all the scoring. So let's pull this up real quick. Man, this Eastern Conference teams here, man, you had Boston shellac Winnipeg 6-1. Then Ottawa, who's not out of it yet, won 3-2. And then the Columbus Blue Jackets, man, they moved into the Metropolitan slot here, kicking the Islanders down. And then you had Chicago over Minnesota, Nashville, Seattle, Florida over Edmonton, Tampa Bay shellacked Vancouver, and then Buffalo, man. This team here, man, they are scary. Buffalo 5-0 over San Jose, and then you had Philadelphia, who's still not quite out of it. They won in a shootout on LA on the road. So that with these Eastern Conference teams winning, it's hard to make up a lot of space. But let's just move on and real quick and look at the schedules. Let's look at the league. There's a few games going on tonight. You got Carolina at Toronto at 7, New Jersey at Washington at 7, Colorado at Chicago at 8:30, Florida at Calgary at 9, and Anaheim at Utah at 10. Nobody cares about that stuff, folks. But anyway, let's look at our schedule here on the month. You can see we got Boston coming up here on the weekend, folks. That's going to be a primetime game on ABC. But man, that is a huge game for us, man. 8 o'clock Eastern, Saturday night. Another going to be another playoff atmosphere type game. Boston is going to be tough. They're pesky, but we need to take care of business, man. We need to knock them off. And if you when we look at the standings, you're going to see them. They do have right now they do have the tiebreaker in the regulation wins, so they're ahead of us. So this is going to be a head-to-head. This could be a 4-point swing right here, folks. We got to take care of business again, and hopefully we can get a regulation win out of this, and then continue the momentum going onward, because there's no room for fail here, folks. We're in playoff mode, man. This is the NHL playoffs. And I mean, even if you I watched the Dallas Colorado game the other night. These are the elites of the Western Conference. And then speaking of the Western Conferences, I think when I was looking at if you take the point totals, there was only 3 teams in the West that would have made the playoffs with those point totals, and those were the top 3 teams was Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota. They would be the only 3 teams if they were making the playoffs, if they were in the Eastern Conference on point totals. But it didn't work that way because it's it's 8-8 from each conference. But nonetheless, that's you can look at the schedule. We got Boston, which was we got to take care of that, and then coming up next week um, with Ottawa, who's not out of the mix yet, and then next week and then Buffalo on the road. It's just going to be tough, tough hockey, and we can't let up on it. So let's just look at the standings real quickly here to show how tight this really is here, man. You heard Mickey talking about it last night with the 6 teams being 1 or 2 points apart, and that's how tight it is, folks. So anyway, that win last night was a regulation win, and that was huge. That gave us 27. Right below there in the second slot there, as you can see, Boston has 28 right above us. We got 84 points. But look at the point totals there in the Atlantic with the Montreal Canadians there on the third slot with 84. Uh, and then down into the Metropolitan 84 with the Pittsburgh 83 with Columbus, who moved up in there, Boston 84, Detroit 84, New York Island 83. So there's your 6 teams right there, man, with just 1 point separation. And that's every night. These are going to be changing places. So we're in playoff mode, folks, and we can't let up because, if it's going to come down to a tiebreaker, that ain't going to be fun. But we just want to peel off a streak here and get up into the top two, 3 slots in the Atlantic. But I'm not counting the people down. You can look down below there after us. You got the Islanders at 83 that we're mentioning, but there's not that much fall off after that with the 4 points with the 79 with Ottawa and 78 with the Flyers. And I'm keeping the Caps, Washington, still in there at 76. But I think they're going to pretty much fall off here. But that's the standings, man. It's going to be a tight race. And the great thing is it's exciting hockey. And it's nerve wracking, but that's what the NHL hockey is all about, folks. I hope you're enjoying them, man. That game last night really got me going. It's got my blood boiling and going. I'm in playoff mode, and I'm ready to rock. It's gonna be a great playoffs, and let's just keep this going to keep the positivity flying here, and let's take care of business against the Boston Bruins on Saturday, and keep it going. Just want to say thanks for watching. Be kind and nice to everybody. Remember to see the light, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.